my little ducklings. It's like a 2000s term, I can say. Dudes. Yeah. Hello, my little butterflies. So, I don't know if you recently saw, but for the 2024 Olympic trials, the U.S. track and field Noah Lies, the liar. Noah Lies whips out his Yu-Gi-Oh cards before his races, and then he's tucking them back into his tracksuit as a good luck charm to speed past his competition. Obviously, this man is going to probably be in the Paris Olympics. He's taking these Yu-Gi-Oh cards and using them for good. So that got me thinking back of Yu-Gi-Oh and 2000s television and nostalgia. Obviously, we've been seeing all of the cyclical trends of Y2K and McBling coming back, and the remembrance of MySpace and like old tech and like flip phones and digital cameras and taking pictures on DSIs. The 2000s trends are trending again, soon to be the 2010s on the horizon. So I thought it would be fun to look back on some old 2000s things that you might have forgotten from that time period, whether you were a child in that time, a teen, an adult. I thought it'd be fun to talk about them and let me unlock some memories for you, because I think it's very fun to look at that. So I'm going to be doing these in a little bit of what seems like a random order, but I'm going to do it in chronological situation from oldest to the most recent items. Let's get into some 2000s things you may have forgotten about. Let's unlock the... Allow me to transport you back to 2000. Starting off strong for my crafty girls. Do you remember the Klutz Books? Originally, they started off in like the 1970s with a how to juggle for Klutz Books. However, they branched out with lots of different arts and crafts, skill sets. This was the original masterclass Skillshare YouTube video, okay? They are a Scholastic division now, so they're all about them book fairs. I remember having the Cat's Cradle one where you learn all of the little yarn tricks to wrap your friends up, dominatrix style, bondage, whatever. I had the one that I had the polymer clay one where you make the little tiny charms, then you can either just like have them sit around or make earrings or jewelry making set. I had the window art one, which was literally just like colored glue, and it absolutely fucked up the windows in my house. It does not come off because it literally baked into the window. However, it was gorgeous. Looks like this. Still on my window today. There was one teaching you how to plait hair, like the British say, really just braiding hair. There was a paper crafts one where you could make these beautiful, intricate paper things, flowers, etc. An origami one, basically any kind of little crafty thing. I think they really leaned into the DIY and the Pinterest of the times in like the later 2005-ish era. These were very je ne sais quoi educational in a way. Next, in the actual year 2000, we have this monstrosity Frankenstein amazing little girl of a movie film project, Digimon The Movie, aka 3 separate movies that were then cobbled together dubbed over to create a hodgepodge movie. Kind of on the similar vein of Pokemon if you're unfamiliar, but it was digital monsters. Very Y2K, very techno, very cutesy, very fun, very the boys and the girls get together and play Digimon. But this movie was 3 separate shorter films that got sent over, and it was created purely to compete with the Pokemon movie. It had crazy success at the box office, so they imagined this would do the same, but they did not put in the time to create it from scratch. They really just redubbed everything, released it. I think it went straight to DVD afterwards. VHS, DVD, zoobidabop, beep, bop, swoop, schmop. But we do get some really interesting quotes and fun things that we still reference to this day. By we, I mean I. Angela Anaconda Digivolve to Angelamon!
I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done.
I'm your friend. And friends are always there for each other.
I don't care.
He has kids now. This movie also just had some really good music too.
Hey Digimon, hey Digimon.
A great piece of cinematic film, if I do say so myself. Moving onwards, in 2001, we have the height of its popularity, Happy Bunny. This, I feel, when I asked around, was not remembered by anybody but me, but it was a thing. Designed by Jim Benton in the 1990s, got most popular in 2001 after it got into stores like Hot Topic and Spencer's, you know, Mall Mania, and they began selling this merchandise with him and some little cheeky phrases. Basically, this little bunny was a douchebag. He was like, I'd compare him to like Hello Kitty if she was a cunt. Not like serving cunt, but just a cunt. This is like the upgrade from the Justice little cutesy monkeys into I'm a tween and I want to be nasty to my mom because she got me the wrong flavor of graham cracker cookies. It was just very like tongue-in-cheek little cutesy, stupid, like bitchy
shirts and pants and folders and school supplies and energy drinks and mouse pads and keychains and all of the things you can imagine consumerism on one drop.
I think this was just existing to be a mascot for nothing. A mascot for cuntiness. A mascot for rebellion. This was for the punks. Now, moving into 2003, when we have a GameCube game. First off, just the GameCube in general, one of my, my favorite game console to exist ever. A GameCube game, Ribbit King. I, as a child, found in the dollar bin at GameStop. This was a 2003 sports video game based on a fictional sport called Frolf, which, as you can imagine, is frog golf. You would hit this frog, which was supposed to be like a golf ball, and it would go onto catapults. You'd buck it with a hammer, and it would send the frog flying into the air. It was very kawaii, fun computer graphic kind of style. Literally, I've never heard anybody talk about this, but I had such a distinct memory of playing this in the dark on a like blown out screen television until my fingers were cramped up. The objective of the game was to get as most points as possible from landing the frog into the hole of the courses. You know how to play golf, I believe. But it had lots of fun little characters. It had lots of little quirks. The frogs could swallow flies. There was different ways to hit the hammer. There were different kinds of hammers. The main character's name that you played as was Scooter. He was trying to become the Frolf champion, so therefore he wanted to be the Ribbit King. Ribbonite, the fuel source of his planet that he needs in order to survive. There's a whole backstory, but what you need to know is that the game was cute and quirky and very Japan coded. Actually, it was from Japan, so I don't know why I said coded. It's a Japanese game. Kind of reminds me of Monkey Ball, but more full-fledged, I actually feel. It has more of like a plot to it. Now in 2004, I'm gonna talk about your favorite oral fixation. The Polly Pocket Magnetic Quick Click Fashion Boutique. Polly Pocket Magnetic Quick Click Fashion Boutique. Polly Pocket Magnetic Quick Fashion Boutique. Polly Pocket Magnetic. This was, it has, wait, let me look at the picture. This.
Wrong answer, forehead.
This had like a little metallic curtain. You would slide the Polly Pocket out. You would put these like little jelly rubber clothing on them. The shoes, specifically the shoes and the little dresses from this toy were so juicy and so nice to chew on. Don't look at me like that. You chewed on things as a child too. This was at the top for us. Look at these colors. Look at this material. It's giving like Depop bundle in the craziest way. I know some of you bitches want these outfits today. It also folds up to be like a handbag purse kind of thing when you're holding it if you really want it.
Luckily I have purse.
It was just the boutique. In that vein, I'm also going to mention, although I think this came out in the 90s, the Polly Pocket clamshell compacts that were the mini baby shark. They were these mini little tiny houses inside of a clamshell. Very mermaid core, very ocean grandmother, coastal These were just so cute and miniature, and you could keep everything inside of this clamshell. It was also just very cute and girly. We're gonna talk about the next one, the dog McDonald's toy from 2005. Now, these were actually started in 2000 and then brought over and got more popular towards like 2003, 2005. And I think at the height was this McDonald's toy. They had these giant noses. The whole thing was photos of dogs from a fisheye lens. It was honestly the original 0.5 iPhone photo, but with your dog. I even had posters in my room of these because, again, roll back to the Klutz Books. This was at the Scholastic Book Fair. If you had those at your school, I don't know, it's just a cute dog. Who doesn't like a cute
just
dog?
Upstairs, I'm
allergic
hard.
to dogs, but I still love these. Now, the dog is gonna segue us into the dog, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. In 2004, with the Scooby-Doo mini vacuum, official, vacuum brand made a Scooby-Doo vacuum. Officially called the Scooby-Doo Groovy Vac. I believe I was given this as like a toy, but it's an actual working vacuum. Am I thinking of the right thing? With just 12 minutes worth of vacuuming battery power, this was a full functioning battery powered vacuum. I guess aimed towards teaching kids how to clean. The original Dyson girly, I assume. I don't really know. It was just like a regular push and pull vacuum with Scooby-Doo printed on it in like clear Frutiger arrow kind of color situations. Right. In that same metallic vein, again with the GameCube, we're going to talk about Chibi Robo. Again, another Japanese game. Chibi Robo was made in 2005. His purpose was to spread happiness. Basically, your job was you were this tiny little Chibi Robo. It was literally this size in the game. And you have a little power plug as your tail. You had to monitor your power because you'd run out of battery. Run around this house earning happy points, doing housework, helping solve the dilemmas of a family. There was like living toys in the game. You had to recharge yourself using the outlets. You could only go so far without using the outlet. It was very cute, a very sweet art style. It was actually a pretty fun game. What a sweet little game. In the mindset of metallics, segue into 2005 with scratch metallic foil art sheets and books. Sometimes these were silver, sometimes they were gold, sometimes they had like a rainbow gradient. These were basically just, you were given metal quill and this piece of, I think, foil or probably aluminum situation at the bottom, and you would scratch away at the black, either following a template design or freehanding something, and you would end up with this beautiful artwork. These were very popular in 2005 at like Michael's, the craft stores, the book fairs, Barnes and Noble, all of the places. These made me feel like an artist. It was almost paint by numbers energy, where it would just, you would connect the dots and make the picture, but it still felt like you did something even though you really didn't. In 2005, the biggest box office movie was Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, followed by then Harry Potter the Goblet of Fire. So this was kind of just like the time of the mystical creatures. Little creatures is the next one. Littlest Pet Shops. I know you know about these, but do you remember the extent? Okay, I'm knocking something over with my foot right now. If you hear that noise, no you don't. They had, similar to the Polly Pockets, a magnet in their foot. They had lots of houses, lots of accessories. You were kind of encouraged to collect them all, put them through these little extravagant houses. They really remind me of the McDonald's McDonald's Play. They remind me of the McDonald's Plays, the way that the tunnels and stuff was set up. I never was having a hamster or like any kind of gerbil or pet of that sense because I just could not be trusted. So this was the closest I was getting to that. I can't go into a PetSmart, but I can have my Littlest Pet Shops. And you bet your ass I had way too many of these. In the same vein and the same year of cutesy girly things, we have Pixel Chix, which is a very similar, if not, I think it might be the same company as Tamagotchis. Pixel Chix was a little handheld like simulation game. Plastic dollhouse with like a LCD screen. You would control them in the buttons and interact with your little digital girl, doing little activities with her. You would feed her, play games, dress her up, go out, send her to bed, etc. I very specifically remember giving her hamburgers and popcorn and telling her to go for a walk or to go to sleep, and then they'd come back in the room. It was like a very cute little like way that they had it on top of this screen, on top of a background. I can't really describe it, but you're seeing it here. You could also connect your house with somebody else's, which I don't think I ever did because nobody had one except maybe me and one other person. So I don't know if we ever did that, but you could, in theory, put them together and do something. You're saying make me a burger bitch. Yeah.
Excuse me,
Anyways, next year after 2005, can you do the math, is 2006, when we had Cartoon Network's My Gym Partner's a Monkey Hall of the Wild, which was an online game from CartoonNetwork.com where you played as Adam and Jake from the show My Gym Partner's a Monkey, and you had to help the principal get lunch boxes that a prankster had like hidden all over the school, and you had to like jump and dip and dive. It was very similar to like Super Mario back in the day, but with different characters and different items. You know what, while we're talking about it, all of the Flash Player games from Cartoon Network Online were pretty damn near perfect. I can't believe still that they got rid of that as a whole. Not only do you probably not remember the show, but you probably don't remember this game, but you should play this game if you want to break your computer and put Flash Player back on it to do this. Yes. In a similar vein of computer games, we have these little guys, which are honestly a bit of a revolution. The Funkeys UBs from 2007. Collectible figures that represent characters in the game. You can see there are different kinds. There were different species of these. 3 different styles of like normal, rare, and like super rare. Would have these little guys, you'd have to buy them, similar to like a Webkin situation, which they have USBs in the bottom that you had to have like a specific reader, and you'd plug that into your computer and put them on top of the stand. It would appear in your game on your computer. This little guy, you'd put him on and he'd show up on your screen. Digitize. Storyline of this game was very thought out. but very strange. You're in this virtual world called Terrapina. You would navigate zones and portals. You would collect different figures and tribes and get areas, and these were very cute and very fun. I think they only lasted until like 2011, but I think they were an interesting start to what we now see as like a virtual but physical sensation, like having something physical that then can be transferred into a digital space. But it started with these little guys, and also look how cute.
Hello, girls. Hello, Beyonce.
Okay, next up is the thing that inspired me to do this video besides the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Was I remembered these the other day for some reason and felt crazy because I had forgot about them for so long. Do you know what a Zhu Zhu Pet is? I'm talking 2009 Zhu Zhu Pets. These little fucking hamster things that would rummage around your house and get stuck in the carpet, and just this. They were these little toys, these little robotic Zhu Zhu Pet hamsters gained popularity on like Christmas area holidays of 2009, 2010, and they all had a unique name and personality and a symbol, also known as their birthmark. Kind of thinking like My Little Pony, but it was just like a swirl or something on their back. Press their head or their nose, and then they made noises. They would explore the room with their little robotic wheels. Think like a Roomba, but without the vacuum. A couple of these specific hamsters were Mr. Squiggles, Pipsqueak, Num Nums, Chunk. These little fuckers, I can't explain what the heck the hype was. I never personally had one. I just was jealous of every bitch that had one. And I still am.
All of this is so humiliating and so embarrassing. It's on me. Like, I know.
Fuck Rodent Boy Summer. This is Zhu Zhu Pet Summer, you bitch!
To finish this off, we have DOMO. You may recognize this man and not know his name.
What the f is DOMO? Oh, so I can say suck, but I can't say.
This is DOMO. He was originally created in 1998 for the Japanese NHK, basically their version of PBS, you know, national programming television. He was really just a mascot for that television station. Then somehow he got swept up into being a stop motion animated character that was then put into Hot Topic and Spencer's and Japanese Kawaii store. Very Harajuku popularity at the time. This cute little guy was just similar to Happy Bunny, mischievous and devious and living his life. I think he also had friends like a bunny and like a bear and some other things in the future. I believe he was kind of like the predecessor to that little egg guy. I can't remember his name right now, but the little egg man. But he was the OG. He was the original. And I know for a fact I had a little stuffy of this guy. The 2000s were a very fun time. Lots of futuristic things, lots of technological advances, very interesting color palettes and textures, playful things going on.
Let's stay playful together.
As Lady Gaga once said. I really enjoy this time period, mostly because for me it's a lot of childhood nostalgia, but either way, I think I would still enjoy it, even if I was an adult at that time. Did you know any of these items? Did I unlock any of these for you? Have you not heard of any of these? Let me know down below if I missed any, what you recognized, what you didn't, or if you'd like to see another installment of this. I don't know. I have a lot of lore from the 2010s, including party rock everything. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you didn't like this video, give it a like. I believe that's all I really have for this one. I hope you had a great time down memory lane with me, and I'll see you later, my Y2K baddies. See you in the next one.
Wow.